Oh, I don't know where to look. Okay. Um, Hi. I don't really know what to say because I don't know if you're supposed to plan these things out beforehand, but I didn't because my mom was over. I'm gonna use that as my excuse. Um, and I took a really long, nice shower, so that's why I didn't think ahead. But I wanted to make a video just to talk about life, and I guess that you could call this vlog number 2, even though I think I'm supposed to be doing these every day, but I'm not. Um, so, I don't know. Well, I know something that I thought would be cool, like a starter to talk about, would be to talk about my tattoo and what it means, where it is, and probably throw in a picture in there somewhere so you're not just like, because I'm not going to stand and be like, woo! Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Um, okay, so I got my first and only right now, so far, I'm planning on getting more, but my first tattoo last year, March 1st, and I come from a very conservative family. I mean, we're Christians, but we're totally non-traditional Christians. I grew up in a very conservative church with very modest standards of dressing, but my dad has always told me, follow, what's, obviously be modest. Don't walk around like, hey, be, be cautious in how you dress, just because, you respect yourself, and you don't necessarily, well, I wouldn't want, for me, I wouldn't want to dress where all of my goods are hanging out. But that's just for me personally, how I feel and my convictions, for how I'm supposed to dress are. My dad's always told me follow your own convictions, and that, how you live really, and loving people, that's what makes you a good Christian. And I'll talk about that on a different video. But, so we were in the car, and my dad was like, Celeste, for your 16th birthday, what if I let you get a tattoo? And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, stop, that's not funny, that's mean. And he's like, no, seriously, like, you're growing up, you're maturing, like, to get a nice tattoo somewhere nobody else can see it, just for you to have. And I was like, okay. I don't know, he told me to, like, think and plan on it. And I'd seen this really pretty sparrow from a sketchbook that Kat Von D had posted, and I just fell in love with that sparrow, and I was like, this is it, like, this is what I want on me. And he told me that in like February, so like at the beginning of March, right before March started, he's like, Celeste, you have an appointment tomorrow. And I'm like, with my psychiatrist? What does that mean? It's really vague. And he's like, you're getting a tattoo tomorrow at 1:30, and my secretary's taking you. And I was like, it just hit me. I was like really, really scared. I was like, is it gonna hurt? And is it, what is this? Why? And I went, his secretary, well, I know, like, an aunt, like, she's my dad's best friend, picked me up at school, and she took me, and it was crazy. It took like 30 minutes. I had to eat before, because if you don't eat, you can pass out and stuff. And she's like, just breathe. And she was awesome. Her name is Christian. And she put on 80s music and screamo music while I got my tattoo done. And I was like, okay, I got this. And it's on my hip bone. And the only part that hurt, because everyone always asks me, did it hurt? And I'm like, well, it's like uncomfortable. Like, for me, when somebody like scratches like vinyl, like that feeling that you get of just discomfort, like, oh, I can't handle this. That's what it feels like, kind of. And it only hurts when it's on the bone because it's like grinding into your bone. But it was really fast. Like I said, it only took like 30 minutes, and it hurt. I forgot it was there at one point because, it's healing and it scabs and sometimes it bleeds. And I was like, my hip was itchy, and I was like, oh, let me scratch it. And I went all on my tattoo, and it burned so bad, and I like silently screamed. I was like, why did I choose to do this? But it was awesome. It was cool. I'm really grateful that my dad let me do that. And I mean, it was a big surprise because he's not a tattoo person at all. And I was like, what? Really? But I liked it, and it came out really cool. And the reason that I chose a sparrow is because obviously they symbolize freedom and coming home for sailors. And under it, it says set free. And, well, I picked it because I think this is the first time I'm talking about this on here, but in June of 2011, I had a surgery, and it was for something called endometriosis, and it's just like lining of your uterus is all jacked up, and I've always had a lot of stomach problems, and they're like, okay, I had a cyst in there too. They actually found the endometriosis while they were in there, but they decided to take it out and let me have surgery, and that surgery was basically like the start of a slew of problems for me. Like, I developed an anxiety disorder and really bad depression, and ended up trying to take my life the next month. So I've spent time in a mental hospital and a behavioral health center, and now I have a psychiatrist and a therapist, and I still struggle with thoughts of suicide and self-harm, but you know, I don't have anxiety anymore. You know, God promised to take that away from me, and he healed me from it. And every time I see that tattoo, it just reminds me that you're not where you used to be, you know, like you've made progress even if you don't see it. You know, like when you have a puppy and you see it every single day, you don't notice that it's getting bigger. But if you don't see it for a few weeks and you come back like from vacation and you're like, whoa, puppy's grown huge. And that's what it's like, is that while you're living in it, you don't actually see any of the progress that you're making. But then looking back on it and just saying, look what I can do now that I couldn't do that. That's amazing. And my tattoo is a very spiritual thing for me. And it means a lot. And I like it a lot. If it was up to me, I'd be like everywhere. But I definitely wouldn't get another one unless I had like meaning to, I guess. Like, I wouldn't just get one because I thought it... Because there's plenty of things that I think would look nice, like I'd like to have, but I'd also want something there to be a reminder for me that I'm going to be okay. And of just how great my God is and how good he's been to me. And yeah, that's the story of my tattoo. I'll put a picture at the end of this or something, or I don't know, I'll link a picture to it. I don't know how to do that, but that's it, and I don't know what else to say, except for that, I'm happy you're alive, and that you're seeing this, and that you're okay as you can be, because I know it's hard sometimes to be okay, and that I'm praying for you, and that I'm rooting for you, and that you're gonna make it, and when you do, I'll be right there with you, eating chocolate cake with you, being like, yes. Unless you're allergic to chocolate, then we'll eat something else in celebration. But, that's all.